Welcome to Enhancing Research Dissemination via an efficient web-based journal management system, or e-reviews. E-reviews is the online manuscript submission, peer review, and editorial portal of the Pediatric Infectious Disease Society of the Philippines Journal, the official online publication of the Pediatric Infectious Disease Society of the Philippines, PIDSP, a subspecialty society of the Philippine Pediatric Society. The PIDSP Journal is a peer-reviewed, open-access journal indexed in the Western Pacific Region Index Medicus that aims to provide Filipino clinicians with relevant and timely data essential to the recognition, diagnosis, management, and prevention of pediatric infections. Authors who wish to submit their research for publication in the PIDSP Journal must create an account by visiting the e-reviews registration page, where they will be asked to provide their name, personal email address, and hospital, institutional, or societal affiliation. An email address may be used only once to create a new account. The registration will then be approved by the PIDSP Journal Manager within 24 hours, after which authors will receive an email notification about the activation of their account. Upon signing into their e-reviews account, authors will be brought to their dashboard, which is divided into two main parts. First, the toolbar, where they can click on the profile icon to access and edit their profile, change their password, or log out of their current session. User role icon, where authors who have been granted access to other user roles such as editorial board member, peer reviewer, or editor-in-chief can toggle in between the dedicated dashboards for each user role. The help icon, which is the shortcut for accessing the help module, where they can send queries to the PIDSP Journal Manager. And the notifications icon, where they can view reminders about pending tasks and updates about their submissions. Second, the homepage, where they can access the following modules. The manuscript submission module, where they can create new submissions. The My Tasks module, where they can return to and complete submission drafts, view the author feedback form for their submissions that have completed peer review, revise their submitted manuscripts, and approve the layout for their finalized submissions. The Active Submissions module, where they can keep track of the progress of submitted manuscripts. The Archive Submissions module, where they can view previous submissions that have either been published in the PIDSP Journal or were rejected. The Help module, which has been previously described. The Statistics module, where they can keep track of their number of active, published, rejected, and lost to follow-up submissions. And the References for Authors, where they can view guidelines relevant to the manuscript submission process and answers to frequently asked questions. Upon choosing to create a new manuscript submission, authors will be brought to the General Instructions to Authors, GIA, the PIDSP Journal Guideline on Manuscript Submission. A copy of the guideline may be downloaded as a PDF should the author wish to revisit the document while offline. The author must signify that they have read and understood the GIA before proceeding. They must then choose the study type of their submission, write or attach a cover letter addressed to the editors-in-chief, and input the title of their study. Starting from the title page, section headers will have question mark icons that link to the Equator Network guideline pertinent to the study type of the submission. Authors are enjoined to adhere to the guidelines cited. Authors may opt to manually type in their manuscript or copy the text from an external word processor or graphical word processing program and paste to the appropriate field in the e-reviews submission process. Next, the user will be asked to input the details of the primary author and co-authors, including the name, preferred postnominal, affiliation, and email address. The account used to submit the manuscript is automatically considered as the corresponding author for the submission. Rules on authorship may be reviewed in the GIA. At least one author must be added. At the bottom of the author page, added authors will be listed. The up and down buttons can be used to arrange the authors according to the order that they will be reflected in the manuscript. Authors must then accept the stipulations outlined in the Article Publishing Agreement or APA and accomplish the PIDSP Journal Disclosure Form or DF before proceeding to the adding of the manuscript itself. Authors must create an abstract not longer than 250 words. The author must also provide at least 3 mesh terms that will be used for the purposes of cross-referencing. Authors may click on the link provided to access the National Library of Medicine's Mesh on Demand, a tool that can suggest mesh vocabulary based on the content of the manuscript provided. Authors must then input the body of the manuscript. As with the adding of plain text, tables may also be added manually or copied from an external word processor, then pasted to e-reviews. Graphs and figures may be added as images. At the bottom of the submission page for the body of the manuscript, authors are asked to upload a copy of their manuscript in .docx format. Authors must save the changes made to the body first before clicking the upload button to avoid losing their work. Authors must then add the acknowledgements and references. The Vancouver system, or the National Library of Medicine format, must be used for all citations and references. A quick guide to the citation system may be found in the References for Authors. An extensive guide may be viewed using the following link. A section headed as Others may be used to submit parts of the manuscript that may not have been included in the previous sections. Authors may input their submission in their preferred order and do not have to upload their work in the order presented in this video. To complete the submission, authors must attest that they have read, understood, and complied with the Equator Network guidelines for their type of study. Once the manuscript has been added in full, authors will be brought to the submission preview where they can review the cover letter, APA, DF, .docx copy of their manuscript, and the different sections of the submission. Authors may click on the section headers to return to that portion of the submission should changes be necessary. Authors may click on the numbered circles at the top portion of the page to navigate through the different sections of the submission. Authors may then complete the submission by pressing the Submit as Final button at the bottom right of the submission preview page. The submission will then undergo an initial screening process which takes a minimum of 2 weeks. If the submission passes this initial screening process and similarity check, it will undergo peer review by 1 external and 1 internal reviewer. The peer review process takes a minimum of 2 weeks. Authors will receive notifications within e-reviews and automated emails to the address they provided detailing the status of their submission and the succeeding tasks that they must accomplish. Both the internal notification and external email alert will link to the pertinent portion of e-reviews where authors may complete the specified task. If the submission is accepted for publication, the author will be given an author feedback form, or AFF, which summarizes the results of the peer review process and the comments and suggestions of the reviewers. Authors are asked to use the AFF to revise their manuscript accordingly and to comment on the AFF regarding the revisions and adjustments made. Authors are given 2 weeks to revise their manuscript. Authors can click on the pencil icon beside each section to revise their work. Revisions made will be in blue to allow for easier tracking of changes. Authors may also click on the comment buttons under each section of the manuscript to add new comments or view comments from the editor-in-chief. Authors must first key in their responses to the comments made in the author feedback form. Before submitting the revision as final. Once these initial revisions are completed, the manuscript will be reviewed by the assigned editor-in-chief. The EIC's comments and revisions will appear in blue in the manuscript revision module. Authors will be asked to respond to comments and make revisions as necessary. Once the manuscript is approved as final by the EIC, it will undergo copy editing by the journal manager, which will take a minimum of 2 weeks. Authors will then be asked to approve the copy-edited version of the manuscript. Once the manuscript is approved as final, it can no longer be modified. Upon approval of the author, the journal manager will then create a final manuscript layout, which must again be approved by the user. Authors may comment on the manuscript layout and request for changes as necessary. Once approved as final, no further changes may be made to the manuscript layout. The PIDSP Journal is a biannual publication that releases a volume every June and December of the year. Authors will receive an update once their submission has been published. Should you have any questions or concerns not covered by this video or the FAQ for authors, please send an email to the PIDSP Journal Manager through the following address, pidsp2009@yahoo.com. Thank you for your interest in publishing your work in the PIDSP Journal. We look forward to collaborating with you.